Hi guys, and welcome to the Marshall online demo for the Marshall MG15CFX, which is part of the latest Marshall MG range. For your information, everything you're about to see, the features and sounds, etc. are exactly the same on the Marshall MG15CFX micro stack and also the Marshall MG30CFX. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look across the front panel and what everything does, controls, etc. And then we're going to start getting some sounds out of it. So going from left to right, first up you've got your gain control, followed by your bass, middle and treble. Next up you've got your reverb, then you've got your volume, then you've got your effects section, and finally your master volume. Going across the top, first up you've got your channel switches. So the first one toggles between the clean and the crunch channel. The next one toggles between the overdrive 1 and overdrive 2 channels. This is a 4-channel amp. Towards the end here you've got your tap tempo. You may see this flashing quite a lot throughout the demo. We'll get onto how that works a bit later on. And then you've got your store button as well. On the end here you've got a line in for your MP3 player so you can jam along with tracks. Headphone output and your foot controller input as well. So what I've done, I've set the EQs up on about 2/3 each, and this is the clean sound. All right, what I'm going to do now is switch over to the crunch channel just here. And this is the sound from that channel. Moving on, the first of the overdrive channels is overdrive 1. And next up, overdrive 2. So you can hear there's more gain in each channel. Each time overdrive 2 is pretty much the most full-on sounding. What we're going to do now is take a look at the reverbs, because on these new model MGs you've got 2 different types of reverb. Firstly, you've got a studio reverb on here. And we're going to compare that to the spring reverb that's built in the amp. Now, you might not want that much reverb. You can change the amounts, and you can change obviously between the spring or the studio reverb at any time. You can also use that reverb to store to the channel sounds, which we'll get onto a little bit later as well. So that's the reverb. Next up, we're going to take a look at the modulation effects. If you're familiar with the effects on MG amplifiers, you'll know that the more you turn it clockwise, the more intense the effect becomes. So we'll start with the chorus. You may have heard there when I held the chord out and I turned it round, it started to become more intense. It's the same deal with the next effect up, which is the phaser. I'll play it and then I'll speed it up. You'll hear it speed up. Next effect up is the flanger. What I'm going to do is just quickly change the channel back to the crunch channel so you can hear the flanger against that. So that gives you an idea of what the flanger can do. And then the next one up, you've got your delay section. So this now becomes the level for the delay, the last quarter on this part. And you can set the time of the delay with the tap tempo. So if you put in a slow tap, and you get this. Or if you want something a bit quicker. And the last effect on here is the octave effect. All right, so hopefully that gives you an idea of what this amp is capable of doing. It has a lot of stuff inside there, and it's just a 15-watt amp, which is absolutely perfect for what you want it for. The other cool thing, as with all the amps in this from this model upwards in the range, you can do, as you may have seen from the other videos, is you can store sounds, which is very easy by switching it over to a preset mode by holding down this button here. You just find any sound that you want with any effect that you want. So if we put some of that spring reverb in there with, let's say, some chorus, or no, let's go with flanger, so we get this kind of sound. To store that sound inclusive of everything, including the EQs and the effects parameters, I just press the store button just there and the sound is stored. So if we go to the next channel and I want to set up something completely different in there with no effects, no reverb, and change the EQs somewhat, like this. I'm going to store that as my crunch sound. That's stored. So now we've got this. But when we go back to the clean channel, so it makes the amp incredibly versatile. Also, you can store those sounds to the Stompware foot controller that's available separately as well. As I said earlier, these features are the same on the 15 head, which is available as the micro stack as well, and the 30-watt version of this amp. For more information on this amplifier and more, then head to your local Marshall dealer.